Hello, I'm Emma Coble, and I'm a licensed professional counselor in Denver, Colorado, and I offer online counseling to all residents of Colorado. And today I'm going to be speaking to you about some signs of depression and then also how and when to pull yourself out, we'll talk about in later videos. So, the first thing I will address in this is just to say that depression is really normal and really common. There's a lot of stigma around this word in our culture, and we get a lot of messages that this is a mental illness, that it's not really normal, that you need to do something instantly when you are depressed to feel better. And yes, it is important, to check in with depression and see what we need to care for ourselves when we recognize we're depressed. But I want to say that it is an incredibly common experience that I would argue most, if not all, people experience at some point in their lives. Women report depression more often than men report depression, but I believe it's common for all of us. And it is important to remember that this is not something when we are depressed that is our fault or that we are causing, that this is an illness, just like COVID or a cold. And even to think of it like that, like something that is around, that is out there in the atmosphere and is not something you are doing wrong and is not something necessarily that is bad. Sometimes we really need to go through depressions and they help us grow. So I talk about this later. I will talk about it more later, but compassion when we experience depression is the most important thing. So just something to remember as I go through some of these signs, to remember that this is common and it's treatable and it's not going to last forever. You didn't cause it. So first, some signs of depression. First of all, it can be hard to spot depression because it can come on slowly and gradually, and you might all of a sudden feel like you're in a hole and not really have seen yourself get into that hole. So one thing to look out for is feeling lonely but having some difficulty connecting with others. So this might mean that you just don't want to go to things and do things with other people, and or you might go have experiences with other people and it just feels really hard to connect with them. Like you're with others, but you feel really lonely, and separate with other people, or like you can't really relate or don't have much in common with other people sometimes. This can also be due to the next factor, which is like having no energy, being very tired. Sometimes people with depression just feel like it's hard to do stuff besides like be on the couch, lay around, be at home. Even getting out of bed can really be a challenge, let alone like cooking dinner, doing work, doing exercise. Like those things that often help us feel better and light us up might just feel exhausting, pointless, really hard to do. In addition to like going to summer barbecues or parties, or those things can just feel so overwhelming and exhausting. And with depression, we can be really easily overwhelmed as well. The next thing to look out for is having like low self-esteem, negative feelings about yourself, low self-worth, feeling some shame, feeling some guilt, being really hard on yourself, which of course can occur without depression. But if you're noticing that more than usual, like it's really easy to go into a shame spiral or to kind of see a bigger picture about yourself and who you are in the context of your relationships and this world and your work and just how you show up. It could be a sign that there's some depression happening for you. Then another thing that goes kind of with this is being more irritable, on edge, crying more easily, feeling kind of anxiety. That can also be a part of depression as well, feeling more anxiety. So oftentimes with depression, we want to zone out, disassociate, and that is oftentimes what we're really focused on, and things that get in our way can feel really overwhelming and stressful. So we might be more irritable, we might cry more easily. The next is feeling hopeless. So oftentimes it's hard to imagine feeling better when we have depression. It's really hard to imagine a future where we don't feel depressed. So this is really common with both depression and with trauma. So just acknowledging that. Noticing changes in your sleep or appetite. So, oftentimes, people with depression could experience some insomnia, some early morning awakening, difficulty getting to sleep with ruminating thoughts, and then eating more or less than usual. Maybe weight changes might occur. Oftentimes, negative body image can go with this as well. So, let me know if you relate to any of these signs or symptoms of depression. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, leave a comment and let me know what you think, and get in touch for a consult if you are interested in seeking therapy. Thanks.